Number 1.
The Trans-Allegheny Asylum was a Civil War military post that became a mental asylum. In 1864, the state of West Virginia opened the facility with 250 beds, promising world-class care for its patients, but it quickly became overcrowded. At one point recording nearly 2,400 in-house patients. The facility was shut down in 1994 due to the resulting conditions, and has since reopened as a museum. Present-day visitors and staff of the Asylum Museum report ghostly children slamming doors and disembodied screams. In a room toward the back end of one wing, a patient was murdered by two others quite violently, and his room is known for its cold spots, and quiet cries can be heard. Other experiences include dark shadows, objects moving on their own, disembodied voices and cries, bangs on the walls, and breaking glass. A playful child entity called Lily is also known for her laughter, as well as her interest in playing games with staff and visitors.
Number 2.
Waverly Hills Sanatorium was once considered the most advanced tuberculosis sanatorium in the U.S. Treatments for the disease in the early 1900s could be particularly barbaric, from ingesting brass to the removal of ribs, among other horrific and experimental practices. When patients died as a result of the disease or procedures, they would use a tunnel known as the body chute that led from the hospital to the railroad tracks at the bottom of the hill. Using a motorized rail and cable system, the bodies were lowered in secret to the waiting trains. That tunnel, as well as a fifth-floor room, are now purportedly the site of shadowed forms and voices. Room 502 is the subject of many rumors and legends. According to the stories, people have seen shapes moving in the windows, heard disembodied voices, and have even jumped to their deaths. According to the stories, a nurse was found dead in room 502 in 1928. She had been pregnant and hung herself from a light fixture. In 1932, another nurse who worked in the same room jumped from the roof patio and plunged several stories to her death.
Number 3.
Penhurst Asylum opened in 1908 as a refuge for patients with physical and mental disabilities. After 79 years of pure controversy, it finally closed its doors on December 9, 1987. Visitors to the location report a plethora of paranormal interactions, including ghostly apparitions and EVP recordings of the anguished residents. Reports of slamming doors, disembodied footsteps and voices, and sounds of vomiting and crying are heard from empty rooms. Some witnesses have even reported the apparition of a little girl roaming around the campus, looking perplexed and a bit lost. The sound of children playing and crying is also a common occurrence.
Number 4.
Airedale Mental Hospital is Australia's biggest abandoned mental institution. Formerly known as the Mayday Hills Lunatic Asylum, where the criminally insane were housed in often horrific conditions. Construction began in 1864, and the guardhouses are listed as being built in 1866, though the list of patients extends as far back as 1865. It was closed as an asylum in 1998 and in 2001 became a campus of the Melbourne Polytechnic. As well as reports of phantom sounds, visitors have reported experiencing nausea, fainting, and pain. A variety of ghosts are known to inhabit the grounds. In 1886, George Fidamont was showing a group of people around the asylum when they started down a set of stairs. Suddenly, George fell to his knees, suffered a major heart attack, and died on the spot. Visitors say they have heard heavy footsteps and banging on that same stairwell, but when they go to take a look, no one is there. Visitors to the asylum who happen to walk past the office of the former superintendent report a sudden bitter taste in their mouth. According to reports, the superintendent, Dr. William L. Mullen, became distraught in his life and swallowed cyanide in 1912. The women's ward is said to be haunted by a nurse named Carrie. Her apparition has been seen donning an old-time nurse's uniform and disappearing into stone walls. In J ward, visitors report feeling ill and suddenly afraid. Some people have reported being bitten or pushed while walking through. Others slip into a trance-like state only released from when they exit the building. J ward is also said to be haunted by 3 prisoners who were hanged and buried on the property. They are said to be restless because they were never given a proper burial, and their graves are only marked with 3 scratches on the prison wall.